Grissom from Hartford High School.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm the Emergency Management Director for the town of Orwell.
Okay.
Now, what exactly is it that you're doing?
For our project, we're creating an online website, and our first topic is Hurricane Irene, and then we picked the topic of bridges and how bridges were affected by Hurricane Irene. So, I mean, we're just trying to get around to people and see how they were affected by bridge outings, or just like the historic covered bridges that were lost and stuff like that. If you had anything, you know, a lot about bridges, what happened to them.
Well, I understand that, obviously the bridges were the main connecting points from residents up in the hills down to the cities, or to the town centers. But you have to understand that the structures themselves, the way that they were constructed, the water levels have never been this high. This was a 100-year flood that has now happened. The last time they saw something like this was 25 years ago. But that's what they do. With all the debris that came down, it wasn't just the water. You had cars, you had tree trunks, boulders that were dislodged and washed away, and they were hitting the foundations of these bridges. That helped to undermine and weaken them. And with the repeated amount of water in such a large amount, and in the speed that they were traveling, it helped to undermine and tear away these bridges.
So it was mostly the side of the bridges getting washed away, and then that was how they just fell over?
Yeah, you get an infrastructure weakness where one end will wash away or weaken, and that, if you look at the way that they all moved on the videos, it wasn't one just being swept out, it was one end being weakened, and then that weakened the other side, and just swept away. Majority of it was engineered for something where the water was at a particular level. Much like with Katrina. They had engineered for 18 feet, not 32, you know. So it was one of those situations where they thought at the time it was fine. And you've seen the piles that people have cleared in their dooryards. If you go up along the road here, you're going to see piles of trash and what looks like tree stumps and car parts and personal effects in between all the trash that's piled. Understand that was in the yards, in people's homes, in the roadways, and where the roads are passable now, they were feet underwater. Feet underwater. It created dams further down as well, and those had to be cleared in order to allow for the water to clear out.
So did people have to go through and clear those away, or did they just kind of wash away with the water?
Both. But you have to understand too is that they can't do it while the water is rushing. For the sake of the folks here, they don't know any other way to get in and out because they've never needed to.
So they're just kind of stuck.
Well, you've got not only the physical sense of being abandoned momentarily, but there's a psychological one too. Because they've never needed to think what to do in the event of, because it's never happened. It's not just the physical bridge, it's the emotional bridges that you need to reconnect with.
Okay.
So,
appreciate it.
no, not a problem.
It was nice talking to you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I don't